Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ella for those of you who are new here, and today's video is about getting pierced at the best and worst tattoo shops, piercing shops in our city. Now, I didn't film the best tattoo shop. I will talk about it real quick though. So I went to a very highly recommended shop and I had my piercer, was super patient. Well, the first piercer I got was a woman. She was obviously very new, didn't feel comfortable doing a venom piercing. So she referred me to Jason, who was a more experienced piercer, and he was more comfortable doing that. So I went in and he was very, very patient. He talked us through the process, explained what was going to happen. I had already had my tongue pierced before as a single tongue piercing, a traditional tongue piercing, when I was 18, so I kind of knew what to expect, but I did know that I was in for a little bit worse because two piercings right beside each other are gonna hurt. I got my first piercing, fine. Through the second piercing, I started feeling really nauseated and I felt faint, even though I was lying down. He had us lie down, and he was over us doing it, and he was really patient with me. He talked to me a good 30-40 minutes, had me sit up in stages, and made sure that I was comfortable before I ever got up. And I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel like he was there to get his money and get out the door. All in all, 10 out of 10. I loved the experience. I love my piercer, Jason. If you end up going to No Regrets, ask for Jason to pierce you. He's amazing. And I forget the name of the girl that worked there too. I'm sure she was great too. She just wasn't comfortable doing a venom piercing. So on that note, I'm so pleased with the result. I will say that for those who are considering double piercing, it took a lot longer to heal, so double any healing time basically, and don't go in earlier than 2 weeks to get it pierced to get it changed out, because I went in too soon. It ended up swelling. I had to switch them both back to the long bars, and if you end up having to switch back and forth, obviously there's a greater risk of infection, so be careful with that. On to the worst tattoo shop, piercing shop. So we looked at reviews first, and oh my gosh, the reviews were horrendous. The one that stood out to me the most, because I'm not going to sit here and read them all to you, but the one that stuck out to me the most was a woman who ran out crying because the manager of the shop decided that he didn't like her political views, didn't agree with him, and therefore he was going to, if he refused to do her tattoo, because if he did, he would intentionally mess it up and make it hurt. First off, that is awful business practice. And the cop said that they couldn't do anything because he didn't actually assault her, but honestly, this kind of thing deserves to have like at least inspection into your business and your ethics, because that's disgusting. So the second shop I went to is the Dancing Dragons, and when we first walked into the shop, it was pretty clean. Like, it was clean, straightforward. You walk in and you go to the left, there's like a hallway, and they have the stalls to the right. We walk in and we ask about nipple piercings, and the guy, he's in the middle of doing a tattoo or something, and he comes out and he asks us what we want. We tell him, and he's like, oh, well, our piercer's next door getting lunch. And we said so many times, we're emphatic about letting him finish his lunch. Don't worry, we are in no rush. We are not, like, this is not something that needs to be done right this second. But he insisted pretty aggressively that he was going to go get the piercer from the shop. So he comes in and he gives us the form for aftercare, forms we have to sign. They did all that pretty well. And then we go in and Maze gets hers done. She wants them at an angle like this instead of horizontal. And he does hers fairly well. Like, he does hers really well. They look perfect. But I think her tits are perfect no matter what. So, and then we get to me.
So we did a kind of similar angle to hers.
Okay. With bigger boobs, it's just, if it's at an angle already, you can't tell if one's lopsided.
That's exactly what I said. Roll the clip.
You know the struggle. Sisters, not twins. That's part of the reason I want to get them angled, is because that way if one's off, you can't really tell.
Dude, your cat got me, man.
Doesn't this part tickle so much?
Not really, but I don't have...
Neither did I, but it tickled for some reason.
Yes. That one's... Yes. Exactly like that.
You know what it feels like afterwards?
Alright, how's that one?
Like the one time I've gotten a sunburn, that's what it feels like. A sunburn on the nips.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That right?
Yep.
Alright. Any particular one you want to do first?
Nope.
Because the second one's gonna hurt. I don't know why.
I feel
think
like
it's
like, because it's like, with my tongue, it was like right next to each other. That hurt so bad.
Reminds me of the time I got stitches. The first one I was like, oh, these don't even hurt that bad. Then they went in a second time. I was like,
I've never had stitches.
you lucky
I thought
bitch.
they, like, numbed you beforehand, though.
Not if you're bleeding a lot.
Oh. Ooh.
Then they're
No,
just
I
like,
don't want to talk about
okay,
that.
sorry. You asked, I answered, I just...
I I already had a thing with blood and needles. So.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was passed out when I got my fingers.
Oh, I didn't know it was because of the... Well, mine aren't bleeding at all, so...
I don't know, it's weird because I picture it in my head and that's what's not actually what's going on. It's weird.
Good mood. It's okay though, we're getting content and we're getting some dope ass jewelry. So that's what it looks like from this side. They're gonna look so good, Gabby.
Alright, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Breathe in for me and breathe out.
Dude, I wasn't even watching the needle, I was watching your face, and I could tell when it went through because that's the feeling I had on the inside.
Not gonna lie, I just expected it to go through on the exhale.
Yeah, but it goes through the one side and then the other side. That's what I meant by I saw your face, and that's... Your eyes get wide, and then it's like they get wider. Oh my god. Oh, it looks so cute.
Oh, alright. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Are you ready for that next one?
Nope.
It's okay.
Oh, my back
Okay.
is so sweaty right now.
So just keep in mind, some people probably like cry and they're like holding their friend's hand, and we're just like
piercings, like tattoos maybe.
we're boss ass bitch. No, I've seen people just get their fucking ears pierced and they have to hold their friend's hand. They're screaming and they're crying, and I'm just like,
Hold on, can we wait for a minute?
Yep.
Sorry,
That's fine. You good?
yeah, I just,
Alright, you ready?
yep.
Breathe in for me and breathe out. Alright.
I'm gonna sit here for a minute.
On your shirt. Oh, there it goes. Alright, you're all set.
Okay, just gonna sit here for a minute.
camera, okay.
Normally I would go over the aftercare sheet, but my fiance and my food are waiting next door.
We're fine. I promise. I can read.
Why don't you go by the instructions on the aftercare sheet? It'll heal up just fine. It'll be all good.
Yeah, because we gotta pay the man.
Oh, welcome back. I will say that the markings were really good on mine. But I felt very rushed. As you can see in the video, I asked for some time to calm myself in between piercings because I will be the first to tell you that I'm so bad about needles and blood. I've passed out getting my blood drawn before, and when I got my tongue piercing, I actually had to, and like I said before, when I got my tongue piercing, I had to lay down for 30 to 45 minutes before I was ready to get up. And he was just kind of rushing me to get this one done. So I did it. I definitely said yes, I was ready when I was not, which is okay, not really. And I get up and they kind of seem okay, but I'm really not in the mood to stay because I just feel very rushed, and suddenly the vibe is kind of ishy, you know, the vibe is kind of sketchy. So we leave, and as soon as I get home, I take a closer look to mine and realize that it's kind of cocky. One is perfect how I wanted it angled, and the other one is slightly down, like, I say slightly, but you notice the difference. And when you look at the blue, because I could still see the blue marker, it didn't follow that line. So I'm actually trying to debate whether or not I want to just take it out completely and get it redone at a local shop in Baltimore, or leave it in, see if it won't really bother me all that much. We'll see. I have OCD. I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna go get it redone. On that note, the piercer also did not go over aftercare verbally. Not too much of a faux pas, since he did give us an aftercare sheet, and he did kind of ask us, you know, but you know what you're doing, right? And I was like, yeah, we got it. But I guess his food and his fiance was next door. Roll the clip.
Normally I would go over the aftercare sheet, but my fiance and my food are waiting next door.
Which again, I don't blame him for. I really think that his boss, or, you know, whoever it was that messaged him, I think they should have let him stay for, you know, finish his lunch. Or at least, at the very least, sent him a message that said, hey, wrap it up, we got people waiting on you, but no rush. You know, I don't think it was fair to him or me and Maze for them to interrupt his lunch to come pierce us. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't recommend the shop because while the piercer himself was decent, he was rushed. He did let it get to him, and I think that might have something to do with why mine was kind of cockeyed. And as you see, as I blurred him out in the video, because I don't want to call him out, because I don't really think it was his fault. I do think that it needs better management, especially if the manager is the one that did that. Especially if the manager is the one that refused to do someone's tattoos because of their political views. If you're going to be a tattoo artist, if you're going to run a tattoo shop, you need to act professionally and you need to be an adult. So it has been 3 weeks. As for both lips and nipples, their healing process, my nipples are actually pretty much done. It has been 2.5 weeks for my nipples. It has been a month and a week with my tongue. My tongue is still healing. It goes back and forth from swelling a lot and not swelling a lot. And I may have to get the bar switched even longer because at night it tends to make a crater in my mouth. So I might have to go and speak to a piercer about that anyway, and that's probably when I will get this sucker redone. But it turns out that even with big boobs, if you got cockeyed angle nipple rings, you can tell. So anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. My next video will be about my move to Baltimore. So if there are any YouTubers that would like to collaborate, please comment below. Hit me at Twitter. Let's make something happen. If you have any questions about piercings in this general area, or if you just have ideas about my next video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below. And I'll see you guys next week whenever I show you my new home.